Welcome to your in-depth weekly horoscope for week commencing the 30th of March for the Sun or the Ascendant. If you've yet to subscribe to my channel, I'd be really grateful if you did so now. Because of the illness I've had over the last 5 years, it does mean that I've got a little bit behind on YouTube, even though I've been on the channel for 10 years. Any subs give signals to YouTube to share my videos more. So much appreciate your help. Comments or likes welcome too. I do interact with everyone. This week begins in dramatic fashion with Mars, the planet of drive, moving into the sign of Aquarius, where it instantly connects with Saturn, and they're going to be side by side for the whole of this week. Mars is about action, and it's about our desire to show who we are as individuals, but in the sign of Aquarius, which is much more to do with community, and its conjunction with Saturn, I think this is an opportunity for us all to come together in some kind of a combined effort. And the obvious way that this can happen is going to be around the COVID-19 crisis. So I think we're getting more information coming in, and that's going to help some of the response to become more efficient and more urgent in some ways, but also more effective. But in a purely personal situation, Mars combining with Saturn in this area is a great opportunity to think about our longer term futures. And if we can work hard, but also work hard for the good of others as well as ourselves, then that's a good signal that we can gain from this combination. But in a more romantic context, as Venus in the first half of this week forges its continuing superb link with Pluto and also Jupiter, there could be a good news story developing for some people when it comes to their love life or social situation. But when Venus, Jupiter and Pluto are together in this positive way in Earth signs, as they are in Taurus with Venus and Jupiter and Pluto in Capricorn, it's a time for tangible progress. And yet in the second half of this week, as Neptune is joined by Mercury, as Mercury speeds up after its recent retrograde, there could be the potential for some blurry communications, for things not to be quite so clear. So if you do encounter someone that you really like, and they're making your pulse race all the quicker, just let the relationship go at its own pace. I wouldn't be in too much of a hurry to work out how you really feel. Just enjoy the moment. And generally, for all of us, if we are sending emails or letters or talking about contracts or having important discussions, we just need to be aware that Neptune can diminish the clarity of Mercury, particularly Mercury in Pisces, where it's not at its best. So there is the potential to read information wrong, to lack comprehension in some of our communications. But I think generally this combination between Mars and Saturn is very positive, and the Sun's journey through the sign of Aries is asking us to keep initiating new ways of approaching things. But on Wednesday we do have a quarter moon in the tender sign of Cancer, and this just suggests that any new initiatives we take, or if we're planning those longer term plans, it needs to be right for us at a more emotional level. So sometimes we can do things because we have desire, because we have ambition, but they're not necessarily things that suit us at a more personal level at that particular juncture. And it is possible that someone close to us could be a little bit of a wet blanket when it comes to a new idea, a new initiative, or enthusiasm that we're putting into a situation. So we just need to be aware that there could be a bit of push and pull between loved ones and our personal desires in the second half of this week. Your specific forecast, Scorpio, suggests that with Saturn, the planet of structure, being joined by Mars, your traditional ruler, in your sector of home and emotions, that if that is an area which isn't working quite so well for you, then you will be scrutinizing it carefully. This could see you making some physical changes, or this could play out in a family or emotional relationship. Venus and your modern ruler of Pluto, along with Jupiter, the planet of growth, continue to forge a very positive alliance in the first half of this week. So if a relationship is set fair and you feel it's on a good footing, it can go from strength to strength. But equally, the converse can be true. If you feel that you've done your best, you've given everything you can, and there really is no more in the tank, Saturn being joined by Mars could see you feel that you do want to have some kind of change. But with Mercury and Neptune in a conjunction in the second half of this week, if there is something that you need to tell someone of a delicate nature, then the best approach you can take is one of diplomacy, but also truthfulness. Because if you do that and don't try to skim around the reality, I think it will help to ease the situation more than it might seem. Actually, there's a quarter moon this week, also on Wednesday, which suggests this is also a week to try to prioritise. And part of it could be choosing between where you feel you have obligations and where you feel you can pursue your need to have greater freedom and independence. So that can feed into your decision making around a key relationship too. It's been a real pleasure being with you. Thank you so much for joining me. If you'd like to subscribe to my monthly astrology magazine and regular astrology updates, or also your daily free horoscope, please see the link beneath this video. You can also order your 12-month personal horoscope and also your character analysis based on your time, date and place of birth, and get a 30% discount. Or you can choose to have a one-to-one consultation with me. Again, please see underneath this video in the links.